basically what I ordered was it's called a mechanical thermal switch. And what it does is, you can get them in a variety of settings on Amazon or eBay. And if you guys want the links, I can send them to you. But what it is, it's a switch that's controlled not by your finger, you turning it on and off, but it's controlled by temperature. Okay, so let's point the camera over at the nice warm fireplace. So how I'm going to wire these fans in, guys, is going to be pretty neat. So on one end of this thermoelectric switch, I'm going to have all the positive wires to those fans, which is the grand total number of 2, go into one side of the switch, okay? On the other side of the switch is your feed or your source power, right? So that will be that will go through the other side of the switch and go back to the one of the 12-volt batteries. Now that's important, guys, because remember, right now these fans in here are running on USB power, 5 volt. So I'm bumping it up to 12 volts, and the amps also increase as well to get the faster speed that is more proper or better for the fireplace. Not to say there's anything wrong with those fans in there, guys. I've never had an issue, period. Now they are totally metal inside there, except these guys are not. These guys are plastic computer fans. But this is an experiment. If these fail, I can put the old USBs back in, no issues. Now, so what is this switch I'm telling you about, the thermoelectric switch? Well, the thermoelectric switch, guys, is going to be something pretty sweet that I do not have now. Right now, these fans in here run 24 hours a day off of that power pack. They don't stop, even when the fireplace cools off and goes cold, okay? Now, with this new switch, I ordered one that will come on at 25 degrees Celsius, which is about, I don't know exactly now. But anyway, this switch will be sitting in with the fans in that compartment, and it will basically the switch will turn on when the fireplace begins to warm up. The temperature in there warms up in there. Okay, so when that happens, it lets power through to my fans, and thus when the fireplace cycle is over via the thermostat, if it hits temperature, the fireplace will obviously shut off. The fans will continually run, but with that new switch, the thermal switch in there, what's going to happen is eventually it's going to hit a point where, hey, the fireplace is cooled right down, we can shut off now, thus saving me power on the batteries, and it's automation, right? So, which is nice, because then as soon as the fireplace comes on and off, the fans will automatically come on and off at that set temperature, and I don't have to worry about it. And it works with 12 volts, and it actually goes up, it does 12 and all the way up to like 220 volts, so you can run anything through this switch, which is pretty sweet. Pretty versatile little switch. So when I ordered it, when it comes in, I will go ahead and definitely do my thing. Like I'll go through the whole wiring and everything like that. But that gives me a great idea to get a giant whiteboard in here for teaching you guys out on YouTube land and all over the internet. whoever has my videos out there. Now, one thing I also got to mention, we'll go back in the storage area. So, not too much wind today on the wind turbine. We're sitting at 12.1, which is pretty pathetic. And the battery doesn't like it. No. So, I asked one of my awesome subscribers, longtime subscriber and now Patreon member, Graham, and I put the call out to everybody actually. But what I wanted to do was, the wind turbine works too well. It's almost designed for large battery banks. I do not have a large battery bank whatsoever. I have one 12-volt battery here, and you can see there's two, but they were they're 6 volts each. So they give me the, oh no, they were wired in 24, so I changed them back to 12, giving me 44 amp hours. That's what I did. Now, the thing is, it's too small for the wind turbine. So I asked around to you guys out there, and Graham came up with some kind of device that he knows from his, he's into the van dwelling, caravans, affordable living that way, as his off-grid tiny house. And his is movable, which is, I'm jealous of that because mine is not so much. Not at all. But he came up with some kind of device, which I did order. I consulted with High Tech Guy Stu just to see if that would work. And so what I want to do is, instead of having the electric mats take the load, because they can't even seem to keep up, I'm gonna run the through the load side of this PWM, where these wires are right here right now. I'm gonna wire this new device in, and what it's gonna allow me to do is take any electricity extra from this battery and dump it into my my main battery, which is charging all this crap here, doing my lighting back here, and that's basically all it does. So by doing that, I'm able to use the turbine to hit this battery, and probably a dump load on top of that. We will find out. Oh, there we go. The turbine spun up. The electric heat has come on. And there's the lights on down there. And the heating pad. I can put my feet on the heating pad. But it's about to shut off because I have it set that it will shut off when it gets, yeah, see, 12.1, it shuts off the load to protect the battery. But the wind turbine's still spooling, so you can see it's trying to get back up to like 13 volts. There it goes. Oh, it's trying. But anyways, this device is basically going to stop this nonsense from happening. So it's going to charge this battery, it's going to float that battery, and then it's going to charge this battery, which is only on solar. And that way we kind of got a hybrid mishmash going on, and hopefully that'll keep this battery a little more healthy. So we'll see what happens. There's the turbine, it's spooled up. Oh, it's see, the electric heating mat takes a lot of power, so it's not quite balanced with the on-off setup. I'd be better off putting like little LED lights or something down here instead of the electric mat. But then again, here you go, it's on again. Now it's really moving here. $13. The tiny house is happy I'm back, I think. Even the batteries are smiling. You can see them there. Whoops. Come on. So this is, you know, it's a balance with this thing, guys, because this thing will shoot right off to 15 volts and cut out on the brake. We don't want that to happen. We want it to run as long as friggin' possible so it's actually doing something. And it's a tricky balance to figure out with wind turbines. Since this is my very first one, I'm just learning. This is like experimental mode. So, yeah. Anyways, as all that stuff charges up, I'll charge the rest of the stuff up. But for now, I'm pretty happy with the situation going on. We're sitting at 12.6 here with all the loads on. We haven't popped squat over here in my new fuse block, and I'm really surprised at that. Those bank of lights down the center, I'm assuming they only come on if one of the fuses pop, which is kind of neat because it tells you which fuses pop, so you're not pulling each fuse, you know, as you go. Nice and bright back here with these awesome lights, and I was afraid these would pop the amps, but no, we're good. So you can see my oil bottles are pretty much frozen. They're pretty thick, and the water up here is going to be something I just can't deal with until spring. Is what it looks like. It's not a good thing. Now I had somebody mention this bulge here. See this bulge? And there's bulges everywhere. It's just how they spray foam this thing, guys. Look at this one here. This one's massive. You can actually tell. Remember I discussed the skeleton of the aluminum roof? These right here is a perfect outline of the ribs or I-beams that I was talking about on the roof. You can see it here, see it here, see it here. It goes all the way down the tiny house. This one you can see partially, and then they really poured it on over this area, and it goes all the way down the wall on both ends of the trailer. I should have gotten the entire trailer done at the time, but I was stupid and I didn't have the windows cut in. That was a huge mistake, but it is what it is. Next, you always learn. So if you guys are going to plan on doing this, make sure your windows are in, your electrical's in, if you're going to bury stuff in the walls, which I do not like. But yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. So anyways, the battery is bringing in 6.40 amps, and it's sitting at 13.24, so it's getting a good workout. 7 amps now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kill these lights because that's overkill, and I'm probably gonna kill at least one of these lights. Let's see, which one is this. Yeah, that's perfect. Just have the one on in the center. I can get around. So now this guy can be moved back carefully. Gotta bring my tools down so I don't get clunked in the head. And then this guy is gonna move back into that storage area out of the way until you guys let me know of some kind of paint out there that will stick to enamel, because that's enamel. And yeah, it looks like crap. So I'm gonna have to go do a Dollar Tree run, grab some steel wool, scrape the hell out of this. Though I do think I may have some steel wool here in one of my bug out bags, probably this one. And I can just scrape the hell out of the paint outside, obviously, because I don't want to clean all that up, and go from there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kill some lights, charge some stuff up, and I'll see you guys in a bit.